Hey everyone, I think I'm live. I think I am. Yes, okay. So now, video mode, swipe. There's this fancy swipe thing you gotta do to make it play. Simone, I need to tag you. And who else did I have to tag? And Skylar. Dum dum dum. Okay, so I'm just gonna tag some people because it doesn't give me the little plus sign at the bottom that Heather taught me how to use. Who else? Perfect. Trying to think who else. I don't want to leave anybody out who I know said to tag them. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. I don't know why it doesn't have the little invite button anymore. Heather jumps on, I'm going to ask her. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Because you guys know that people jump on late. DK Custom Rods. Even though I'm mad at him. Facebook is so weird, guys. Like, totally weird. I don't like how they're constantly changing anymore. Like, truly. I used to keep up with them, and now I'm just like... There's, like, way too much to keep up with. It's insane. Still waiting. Do not wake up. Don't even think about it. Somebody jumped on. Hi. kid just sat up. And laid back down. This is so exciting. It's not really. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody like another minute and then I'm gonna start because it has been such a long day. Between the lady coming to take pictures of the house to have it listed and little Mr. terrorizing because his teeth hurt, it's just been a crazy day. And the Mr.'s home. He's working too, so he will sneak out here eventually. Okay guys, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes left to play before we put our toys away. Any more of this? Hello, whoever just jumped on. Hi. Hi, whoever else just jumped on. It's starting to get very sad that I can't see you guys when you jump on. Simone, yay! Somebody else just jumped on. Who's on with us? Say hello. We're gonna start in another minute or so. We're just kind of waiting and drinking. Really, I should have poured this glass of wine, set it aside, and just brought the whole bottle with me. Because it has been that kind of day. Hey, Sarah. I hope the little man's asleep. Mine's sort of asleep. He doesn't want to stay asleep. It's making so much noise. Oh my god, Sarah, I forgot to tell you. I don't know if I commented on it or not, but I loved Morty's picture playing in the rain the other day. That was so much fun. Like, I can't wait till William goes and plays in the rain. It'll be fun. I see, like, you guys posting all the time, and I'm scrolling, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Hey, Heather. I have a question for you. Coming right back to you. I see you guys posting all the time, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that's so cool, and I'm getting ready to comment or something, and William will do something, and I'll be like, oh. And then I'll put it down, and then I'll totally forget, because Facebook bounces back to the top, and then you guys are gone, and I don't ever remember to comment. So, just so you know, I see your stuff, even if I can't comment, because someone's got me busy. Okay, Heather, question for you, Miss Facebook aficionado. My little plus sign to invite people is gone. Where did it go? I had to tag people, and it's really weird. I'm going to call you my Facebook Live guru. I'm in my head. I do that, Simone, with text messages. Like, I have this one friend who I'm notorious for thinking I replied to her, and then I just never have. I have another friend who I use Voxer with, and sometimes, like, I literally swear I push the button, and I start talking, and then I just never get back to him. Never. It's crazy. Hey Anne, welcome. It's your first Wine Wednesday. It's going to be so much fun. Wine. And since it's your first one, we just kind of like talk a few minutes while people kind of like trickle in, stream on. Obviously it's a live video, so there's always a replay. So if you don't catch a live Wednesday event, there's, like you said, you can always catch the replay. And I have been going in and updating the file section. There is a quick links file for the Wine Wednesdays, and Facebook still has not resolved the issue where when you click the link from a cell phone, it doesn't take you directly to the videos. But when you click it from a computer, it takes you to the Wine Wednesdays. But you can just click the videos and go through them. They're the ones that are like 25 or more minutes long. But yes, new friends. So exciting. And feel free to add your mompreneurs to this group. It's so much fun to meet new moms, and there's no drama in this group. None. I do kick people out for starting drama. This is not a mommy group per se. This is a mommies growing their business group. This is where we talk business tips, tricks, and moving forward in our businesses. This is not where we talk diapers versus diapers or milk versus milk or anything. So don't get me wrong, we're still moms, we still deal with all that stuff all the time, but this is mommies focusing on business, and occasionally our kids drive us nuts. So we drink on Wednesdays and days that end with Y. Your first mom group, yay! It's gonna be so much fun. What's your business? What business are you in? Are you a clothing? Are you a makeup? Are you a fitness? Are you your own rep? There you go. You and Sarah should get together. Wine in a minute. Baby is having a meltdown. You can't hear me over the... Oh, I'm hoping it's because you can't hear me over the baby, not because my sound sucks. Sarah, I don't know if you're still on here, but Anne can be your new LuLaRoe best friend. Sarah got into it, and she has just finally learned how to use Hootsuite to stay consistent with her mommies. So excited for Sarah. Yay. Learning, growing every day. Simone, don't worry about a baby meltdown. It happens. Like, all day here today. Well, she'll jump back on. She's probably doing bedtime with her kiddo too. But Sarah Lindsay, I tagged her up top, so definitely find her, friend her, and chit chat. She's good peoples. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna get going. Tonight we're gonna do 10 must-read, I call them personal development books, but a lot of people call them business books, so we kind of go back and forth between the words. But they are imperative to your moving forward in your businesses. Oh, excuse me. And wine burps happen. Okay, when I first started in my business, I was not consistent with my personal development. I was the type of person who was like, I mean, I love to read, like totally love to read, but I was like, personal development books, like self-help books, like, really? Like, you gotta read those? Like, I'm the nerd in the personal development aisle at Barnes & Noble. Like, no thanks. Like, I don't need that. And I was like, I don't really need to look at, you know, so-and-so and how they're doing in their business, because I'm running my business. Wrong. Wrong. So wrong on so many levels. So rather than trying to like figure out what I was doing wrong, I'd kind of like sit in the corner and I'd pout and I'd be like, you're just doing it wrong. Just kick myself for not succeeding at something. So I wasn't watching how other people were failing. I teach moms how to start, run, and grow their businesses, their online businesses, through business tips, tricks, time management, mommy lifestyle hacks. So Wine Wednesday spurred from, I'm going to give you tips every Wednesday on how to grow your business. And drink wine. It gives me an excuse. So anyway, so starting out, I just like to fail. I am. I don't like to call myself a business coach per se though, because I don't take one-on-one phone calls, because I hate being on the phone. And I cannot commit to phone calls because my kid's still little and I don't want to have to be nailed down to a call. But I am always open for one-on-ones, coaching in either the group, in private message, and email form. So we'll get to that and we'll chat. Back to topic. And I totally have squirrel brain all the time. That's me. So anyway, it wasn't until I attended a Shirley Johnson event that I was like, okay, so I'm really, really missing this key element in my business. Like, it was going really well. I was succeeding at the business. I have Voxer. Have it. That I really, really needed to get into this because I'm intelligent, sure. I mean, I have my MBA. I've run a really successful small business. I've run a really good online business, but I wasn't learning how other people were doing things, and I wasn't learning how they were failing. So I was failing in the same ways that they had already done. So I wasn't growing. I was literally just kind of like steady in my business. And I made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes that just kind of kept me. I was doing well, but I wasn't growing to the income level that I wanted, to the clientele that I wanted. I wasn't reaching my perfect client. I was just getting clients. And when you run your own business, you don't just want to get clients. Sure, it turns into a paycheck. And yes, paychecks pay your bills. But in the long run, those clients want free shit all the time. Like, they're not going to be your life clients. They're not going to follow you no matter what you do. They're not going to trust in you. They're just there to occasionally hand you money. But when you're like, okay, I've got this new product, they're like, but it's like $30, or oh, it's like $50. Oh, I don't really think so. Those are not the kind of clients you want. You want perfect clients who want to follow you because you know what you're doing. So, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to a ton of seminars. I've worked with Chalene Johnson, Brendan Burchard, Bo Eason, you name it. I've been there. I've met Jeff Walker. He's a great guy, totally down to earth. We're going to talk about him in a few minutes. But I was really, truly missing that small aspect of business building, and that was, Simone, I think you and I went to a Chalene event together, actually, now that I think about it. But I really was missing that small element of personal development in my business in order to grow. So what I did is I put together a list of my 10 absolute non-negotiable must-read books. And that's what we're going to cover tonight. So really, I'm not going to give you any like tips per se, but I'm going to give you 10 books I highly recommend that you read. I'm not saying that you need to sit down and read for an hour a day. I'm not saying you need to sit down and read for 10 minutes a day. I'm not even saying you need to sit down and read. You can get the Audible and put it on while you're doing dishes or changing diapers or doing laundry or walking around or cleaning your house or do whatever. Or if you're all for the books, I love books, love something to hold, whatever, 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes in the morning before you get out of bed, 10 minutes before you go to bed. There's 20 minutes a day. You're going to get a couple of chapters in. It's going to be great for you. It's going to be great for your personal life, and it's going to be great for your business. Okay, so the first book. Oh, and just to clarify, Anne, the link that I have above the title, I think it shows you when the live stream closes. It says 10 must-read business books, and then the link above, it's the typed out copy of everything that we covered tonight. So it also has the links to the, yeah, that's an awesome tip, audibles while you're driving. It has the links to all the books I'm going to recommend, so check it out for sure. Okay, so the first book, my absolute first book, my favorite book. I read it again and again. I can't even tell you how many times I've read it, at least 3 dozen times, because I absolutely love Darren Hardy and The Compound Effect. It was my first personal development book, my business growth book. I love it. I love it. I love it. He shares principles about how the decisions you make in your life shape your destiny. Even the smallest decision that you make today can greatly impact your life on the grand scale. Literally, you could pick up a stick today and tomorrow it's going to be like a tree in front of your face. That kind of thing. So if I had to pick one favorite personal development book, it would be The Compound Effect. If you couldn't read anything else because you had one book and then your life was going to somehow stop moving forward, I would read The Compound Effect. It's truly, it's life-changing. It's not just business-changing. It's personal life-changing, all around. Great, great book. Darren Hardy is a great guy. Is a really great guy. And he's also down to earth. Met him too. He also lays out step-by-step systems to help you start, go, and grow. Okay. Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect, #1. Same productivity. Oh, Simone, I really want to take that. It's on my list. I'm not committing to it right now because I have so much other stuff on my plate, but it is totally on my list to do. Because I am a Darren Hardy junkie. Oh, he also has Darren Daily. For those of you who aren't familiar with Darren, it's a daily either text or email that you get. He gives you like a 2-minute, 3-minute video that you can subscribe to. I have the link to that. I can get it to you after this. The second book I highly recommend is Failing Forward by John Maxwell. John Maxwell is super, super well known and super, super, super knowledgeable in all kinds of business. And this was probably another one of my favorite books because, number one, I love to fail. As weird as that sounds. I love learning from my mistakes. I can't tell you how many times I failed so far this year. A lot. I drop the ball and then I pick it up again. But when I finally hit that roadblock, it's like a new challenge, I guess. Now, a lot of people are terrified of failing, which is why they never start anything, which is why they don't go into business for themselves, because they don't want to fail. Yes, you're going to have those moments where you're like, I'm just not getting anywhere, I'm going to give up. I've had those moments. Actually, I probably had one of those moments recently in the car as we were driving somewhere, and I'm like, I just can't get through this. And Doug's like, you just started. You just started this project. You just did this. You just, give it time. And I'm just, This is another really good book. Because, like I said, the number one fear for people starting their own business is that they're going to fail. I can't say that I ever truly, like I said, I can't say that I've ever truly been afraid of failing. When I was growing up, we didn't really get taught about failure per se. My mom always just said it's a new way, you found a new way that something didn't work. So it really wasn't like if we didn't do well at something, it wasn't like, oh, you failed, how horrible. It was like, oh, you didn't do it right, and that's okay, now you can do it this way. So it was really cool, because I know a lot of my other friends were like, oh, I can't do that, I'm not going to do well at it, or something like that. So I really appreciate that life lesson from my parents. And Maxwell definitely touches on all of that in his book, on how to take that fear and turn it into confidence, so that you can keep moving forward in whatever your goals are. The third book. Now this one's got some disclaimers for me. Simone, haven't we all? The third book is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I don't ever know if I say his name right. I think it's Hal Elrod. Now, I love this book, and I have a love-hate relationship with this book, but it's still in my top 10s because I think the underlying concepts are truly great. So, it's called The Miracle Morning. I'm not a morning person. You can ask anybody in my life. I am not a morning person. I am like the biggest freaking grouch in the morning. Like, I hate mornings. I'm really upset when the baby doesn't sleep past 7. Actually, he's been really, really good and been sleeping till 9 until the last 2 days, and he's been up at 6:30 and 7, and I'm just like, because I hate mornings. I just hate mornings. But the main ideas in this book are to do the things that matter the most at the beginning of your day. So like when you're bright-eyed and you're bushy-tailed, get the biggest your biggest tasks done. So for me, as a mom who doesn't do mornings, I get up, I get the baby, well, Daddy, if he's home, Daddy gets the baby, changes him, and brings the baby into bed, and then we lay down and we nurse until he's ready to go, and then we get up, we make coffee, we make breakfast, we have a leisurely morning, he plays, I play, clean up breakfast, and then I get started. I dive right in, I get a huge chunk of whatever I've got, because he will sit right here for the most part and play in this playroom for like 20-30 minutes, sometimes an hour he'll play, and that's when I start. I don't start first thing in the morning, but the concepts are amazing. Truly, truly, truly amazing. When little mister gets a little older, I kind of hope to start becoming more of a morning person. I say that with a wince in my face, but Hal Elrod teaches you how to break down things, makes you realize that these things are more important than these things, and these things should be done first. And I don't know if you've read Eat the Frog. It's kind of the same principle as Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. Didn't make my top favorites list, but I have, oh no, I didn't know that, Simone. that makes me sad and really happy all at the same time that he's positive. But that kind of sucks. Anyway, so not totally like something you have to stick to as a mom, because obviously a lot of us aren't morning people. We don't have time in the morning to just go. And if you're getting up before the baby gets up, I think you're insane, but congratulations, I think you're a rock star at the same time. I am not. I am not that mom. I'm not getting up before the baby. Number 4 is the flight plan. Brian Tracy, back to Brian Tracy, but this is the real secrets of success. And I really, really love this book's analogy, because it goes along, for me, it goes along with the family forward principles. For me, I believe life's a journey. You live it, you have a navigational system, you have skills that you need to master, and... Bet you did. Oh, you're not there. But this book's all about life's journeys, and it teaches you how to create clear goals, plans, schedules, establish a plan for your future. He uses the analogy of a pilot. Daddy has a candy fetish right now. He uses the example of a pilot who needs to get from point A to point B, and in order for him to do that, he needs a flight plan. Otherwise, he's just going to be going... And while the road to success does look like this, it's also, you have a starting point and an ending point. I mean, you don't have to go, you know, a straight line. You're certainly not going to go a straight line. When you get on a plane, you're not going to go in a straight line. You're going to take turns, you're going to curve, and you're going to, if you have to miss turbulence or go over turbulence, or I don't really know how that works, but like they fly around things, and they go above and they go below, and so like their flight plan isn't like a point A to point B and it's a straight line. And that's the same with life. Life is not a straight line. You're going to have all of these wiggle, 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 waggles. So it's a really good book about how to dedicate and start and plan and goals. So that is my number 4 favorite. Number 5, this one, I almost didn't add it. And these are in no particular order. These, other than number 1, which is my absolute favorite, obviously the compound effect, none of these are in a specific order. They're not like, this is my first favorite, and this is like my least favorite. I just threw them all in here, how I read them. Not how I read them, but they're in here. Anyway, The Desire Map, a guide to creating goals with soul, by Danielle Lepore. And I don't think I pronounced her name right either. I don't know if the T is silent. I chugged too fast. And now it's all gone. Yes, definitely read. So for me as a new mom, I found this book and it was really kind of eye-opening. I could run my business a different way and still prioritize my little mister, because he is my entire world. I used to be such an over planner in my business. I used to try to keep pace with those that were around me. I based my goals on other people's goals. It was terrible. Like I would see, I was a Beachbody coach for a while, so I would see like Lindsay Matway. I don't know how many of you all know her, but she is like the shiz in the business for Beachbody. And so she used to have a goal thing, and I used to set my goals to her goals, which was totally unrealistic because we were on like 2 complete different planets. 2 complete different planets. Like she had hundreds of thousands of people on her email list, and I had maybe 10. So it was a terrible idea. So the Desire Map shows you how to set goals based on your desires instead of sticking to like a rigid timeline, which really, really helped once I became a mom, because I wanted to continue to keep up with that fast-paced life. And I was like, when I read the book, I was kind of like, aha! Well, it was like, I get it. Totally get it. So I had to embrace a new way of goal setting and reaching goals in my business. So rather than following what everybody else had set, I had to do a whole different way of thinking. So I would say that that is my number 5 book. I'm not all about like soul searching and things like that. And he is driving me up a wall. He's walking around the house while I'm trying to record my video. And it's driving me bonkers. Yeah. Anyway, he's usually not home. For anybody who's new, he's usually not home. Which is why I do them on Wednesdays. He's home. Anyway, so that made my number 5. But it was really, really good for, as a mom, to read. Because it did allow you to think a little bit differently in the way you set your goals. Because I think the biggest thing as a mom in business, I'm like, okay, I have all these business goals. I'm going to achieve them. And I need to be here and here and here and make X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, okay, but my priority is my kid. That's why I got into this business, so that I could stay home, so I could still earn an income, but be completely present in his life. So if I'm completely neglecting him and only going for my business, I'm not working towards my goal of being with him. I'm only working towards my goal of my financial growth or my business growth. So definitely the Desire Map is a good mommy read, I would say. I'm sure it's good all around, but for a mom, I think it's a really good read. Number 6, Big Magic. Creative Living Beyond Fear. Again, back to the fear. He didn't shut the door. Guys, today needs to end. Just get. Back to fear. I love books on fear and teaching you how to overcome it. And for me, this was another one of those. Because I, having grown up the way I did, don't understand people who are terrified to do stuff. Because I'm like, oh, that looks fun, let's go try it. Everyone's like, I don't think so, no. And I'm like, yeah, let's go do it. So this one is, I think my biggest takeaway from this one is you're not meant to run with every idea that comes to mind. Which is kind of hard for me because, like I said, I go and try and do. So there will always beat this into your head. Always be somebody better at something than you are. And that's okay. For me, it was a hard topic to learn. I'm sure for some of you it's a really hard topic to learn too, because you just want to be the best at it, and sometimes you're not suited for X, Y, or Z. Okay, good night. Finish the replay tomorrow. This was definitely a hard topic for me, but after I read the book, I kind of realized that there were good things that I needed to focus on rather than trying to accomplish everything. For me, I'm really great at social media, sharing, teaching you how to share without selling, time organization skills while prioritizing mommy life and still getting your business to run. I'm not the best at teaching you how to do Instagram. Actually, I can't teach you how to do Instagram. I don't, yes, I did sit down. It was great. It was perfect for tonight's call. I'm not great at Instagram. I actually hate using Instagram. I don't know why. I personally just have a mental block against Instagram. My other half's business is really great on Instagram. People love him on Instagram. DK Custom Rods is on Instagram, in case anybody is interested in a rod. Yeah, total plug. But for me, it's just not my thing. I am more into blogging and things like that. I can teach you how to blog, how to grow, things like that. So for me, this is a really good book because you can't do everything. And you're not meant to do everything. Yes, I've taken her Instagram course. I still don't like Instagram. I just have a mental block against Instagram. So, really good book if you're trying to accomplish everything and you just feel like you're spinning your wheels, because it really kind of breaks down the fact that you're not meant to do everything that comes into your mind. You're not supposed to teach everything to your clientele. You're not supposed to share everything to your clientele, things like that. So, that was my number 6. It's taking a little longer than I thought, guys. Sorry. It's going to be a little longer tonight. Okay, so 7 would be Launch by Jeff Walker. This is, I think his title is, I'm going to read it, An Internet Millionaire's Secret Formula to Sell Almost Anything Online, Build a Business You Love, and Live the Life of Your Dreams. It's a very long title. I just kept it to Launch. Like I said earlier, I had the privilege of meeting Jeff Walker at one of the seminars that I was at. Honestly, I don't even remember what seminar he was at. I can't remember if it was Brandon Burchard or Shalene Johnson or a Bo Eason event. He was at one of them. But Walker gives you the exact, like, X, Y, and Z complete steps on how to create a successful launch for whatever product or program or book or whatever you're selling. Clothes, lipstick, fitness. He will tell you how to launch it. In the sense of, okay, I have a paid product coming out. Here's what you need to do to announce it. I've successfully implemented his techniques multiple times, and I love how simple, literally simple and easy his stuff is to apply. So while this isn't necessarily personal development, it's more business building book, so it does make my top 10. That's really all I have to say about that one, because that one's super simple, like so simple. Number 8, habit stacking. 97 small life changes that will take you 5 minutes or less, by S.J. Scott. I kind of paused on this book a couple of times in my Amazon cart because I was like, okay, well, I don't really feel like I need to simplify anything in my life. I'm pretty cool with what I've got going on. You know, things are doing just fine. And I was totally wrong. Like, totally wrong. Like, 100% wrong. I really liked how Scott broke down, like, the simplest tasks that you're doing throughout your day and created, like, different habits for you to do so that you're not overwhelmed. So, for this one, it's just about taking life and making it more manageable. So, as mom, that was fantastic. I don't know why I put pause on it for so long before I finally was like, okay, click. And then I read it within, like, 2 days on my Kindle. Like, it was crazy. I was just like, oh, that's so simple. I need to do that. And I have. And I've actually turned it into different programs. So, it was a great read. Number 9, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norm Peale. Also not a name I'm sure I'm pronouncing correctly. So I feel so bad if all these are wrong. But this one is, you know, it's really hard when you first start out to get down on yourself, down on your business, down on your personal life, down on your mommy life. But sometimes it's nice to just be able to, like, check back in with your goals and your desires and realize that all that negative and self-doubt can just be brushed away because it's just unnecessary. So in the book, he focuses on teaching and building new powers and developing ways to reach your goals and break through all those negative habits, improve relationships. Hold on, ladies. So when I'm feeling stuck or down or something like that in my personal life or in my business life, I like to do this as a refresher because it's really good to think positively because things happen more easily when you're thinking positive. They do. Power of positive thinking. You attract what you want most if you're thinking about it. If I'm constantly thinking that I'm going to fail, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do really well, everything's just sucky, that's how your life's going to be. It's just going to be completely negative and sucky all the time. But if you're like, oh yeah, that'll happen. Totally will happen. I'm going to do it. It's going to be great. Eventually it will. It'll totally be great. It'll be fine. Definitely want to highly recommend for not only your personal life, but your business life. All around, it's a great read. And the very last one that I recommend is The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. This is the first book I read when I decided that I was going to quit my full-time job. Terribly scary. I'd already read The Compound Effect. I'd already read Failing Forward. But when I finally decided that I was going to leave my, what really wasn't a 9 to 5, it was like a 7 to 8. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. It was really horrible. I had horrible, horrible doubts because I had a really cushy income. I had really great benefits. I had a terrible commute. I worked with horrible people. So it was like, I really liked some aspects of the job. It was for the federal government, so I had great benefits. but I really hated everything else. I was miserable, I was uncomfortable, my relationship really sucked, which was a whole different ballgame. Everything in life just really sucked, other than the fact that my bank account was doing really well. But a lot of it had to do with the business that I had started and was running. And finally I decided, okay, my salary's almost matched. I just took the leap. My biggest fear, though, with quitting my day job, because at the end of the day, you go home and you just don't have to work. So that was something that I was like, okay, well, I really like that idea. Go home and not do anything. So I was terrified that I was going to be strapped to my computer 24 hours a day working to supplement a job, 9 to 5 type of thing. But I actually went to the library and checked this book out. Yeah, I went to the library instead of buying it because I was like, this is unrealistic. The 4-Hour Work Week, I'm going to read like 10 pages of it. It's going to be the dumbest book on the planet. And I was wrong. Ferris teaches you that there's no reason that you need to wait to get your life's desires. You can do it now. He lays out an entire blueprint for outsourcing and eliminating unnecessary work and managing different aspects of your business in less time so that you have more time to actually enjoy your life. Full disclosure, I own a whole copy of it now. Actually, I think I own 2 copies of it now because I like to have one to lend out to people, because I was a total doubter when I first read this book. Literally, I didn't even invest in it. I went to the library and I rented it or checked it out or whatever you call it because I didn't believe it was going to happen. But there you have it. Those are my top 10. You have to read them. Absolutely must in order to grow your business, grow your personal life, have a great relationship with your kiddo. That is it. That's what I've got for you, ladies. To check out the books quickly, click the link above. If you have any questions on what's in the books, I've detailed all what's in the books, who writes it, where you can find it, things like that. So I will see you guys next Wednesday if I don't give you a challenge before then. I'm getting quite fun at my challenges. The one thing right now, right. You should post that in this thread. The one thing. I don't know the author of that one. I feel like I've heard it. I think it might be on my list eventually. But I'm actually rereading Flight Plan right now. So I just love them. Anyway, I will see you ladies next Wednesday. For those of you catching the replay, hi! Happy morning coffee day, or tomorrow evening wine tequila Thursday or something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions on the books, let me know. If you have a favorite book that you think that we all should read, definitely post it below and we'll check it out. Okay, bye guys.